Hi everybody, this is Dale, and welcome to my channel, Not Too Shabby Chic. So for the first time, I'm going to try to do a little tutorial on word clusters, is what I'm calling them. You've seen a lot of people do words, word book pages, where they take a group of words or a little section out of a book with words and glue one word or phrase in the middle of that. And you make them up ahead of time if you want, and then you'll have them when you get ready to do a journal or whatever it is that you want to make, a tag, a journal card, anything. And they're a great idea. I first saw them, I've seen them several different times and have done a few myself, not thinking of what they really were. But Cheryl Lux, and I may be mispronouncing her name, Lux, is who I saw do a word page, a book page, and she just tore out a section and then put one word on top, and she inked around each one, and they were very simple and very cute and very effective and not too much. So I thought I want to make some of those because they really look cute. So without further ado, I'm going to show you a few that I've already made, and I've got some prepped so that you don't agonize with me as I try to figure out what I want to put with what. Even a simple book page for me is a challenge because I've added additional layers to mine. So you'll see. And the ones that I've got prepped for you, I tried to do several different examples so that you know you can use other things as well. Here's one that I did, and first I took some books. They don't have to be vintage books. They could be any book. You could go to the Dollar Tree and get a book for $1, or one that somebody's throwing away. You can use magazine words, but what you're looking for are phrases. So you find phrases that you like, and you have to think of them by themselves. You can do one word, like I said, or you can do a little phrase. This one, for example, see if it'll focus. Doesn't want to focus, maybe not. It says improve your life, and I layered three layers of paper. There's a book page in the back, then just another book page, but the plain part that didn't have any letters, and then this is cardstock, and I had cut that out. I tore all of these and left that straight, and that's coming unglued, so I need to fix that. Here's an example. I cut it with pinking shears. Build something big. That's just a little phrase I got out of a book, and I think that'll be cute on a tag or in a journal. I've got something interesting. My camera doesn't want to work. I'm sorry. Anyway, take my word for it. Hot word, literally. Something interesting. This one again is just two layers, or three. It's the word, phrase, plain paper, and then a book page. Another one like that. A secret with myself. Maybe, no. Oh well, you get the gist. So there's that. I can't believe I just said that. Here's one that says, well, you get it. That's what I just said. It's a cute little phrase. This one is, I used some green paper, then a book page, and then the word that says classic. And I don't have to hold that close. Even with bad eyes, you could see that one. I love this. I was looking through a nature book. It was about birds. And it said, it was a sentence, ask the bird folks is what I cut out though, because I thought that was so cute. And I layered two different book pages. One the correct way, one going sideways, plain, and then the phrase. See what is around. I'm going to quit trying to show you. This one I used some pink ink, rhymes. It says, it is up to you. And so I did the pink and then on top of the book page, just a little small one. This ink is by Stays On Timber Brown, and it almost has a taupe purpley look, but it's a really dark brown. And I like to use these also, especially if I'm going to use purples or pinks with the tag or the fabric or what have you. That color looks good. This is a Bible verse. Let James 5:13, is any merry? Let him sing psalms. So I like to do scriptures, and this was a short one. Here's one that I took a little picture of a doll. And I just cut it out with a block. It's kind of like pinking shears, those these little scissors you get in a pack. I used my 40% off coupon at Michael's and got those. There's a whole bunch of different designs. In any case, I layered with book cardstock. There's fireworks going off outside, even though it is now July 6th. Book page and then the picture. So that was cute. Some others. This one says mystery, and I use a color book cardstock in the background with some layers. Here's a picture, and I use that little block thing that looks like a torn out stamp, and 2 old pictures out of a vintage book with the book pages. Oops, I'm out of camera. Mysterious and wonderful is a good phrase. This one, I got overzealous with my inking, says take a look. So you can, you just, as you do it, you'll see more things. See what I mean? That's what this one says. See what I mean? Thought that was funny. Adventure. You can read that one. So they're really fun. This one was part of a long sentence, obviously. He answers all. To me, that's talking about God because it's a capital H, so it's God. He answers all. He does. And then this one, well, I took a music sheet and did it sideways because it didn't fit the other way. And maybe, just maybe. Again, it's a cute little phrase. So those are some ideas I went through this afternoon. And believe me, you can get lost in it. I saved a bunch of old book pages and I put them in here. Torn vintage pages and some are newer. And just stuck it in here. And you can see it's throwing up. It's about too big. My pile's too big for my box. And then my cardstock, don't laugh. My cardstock little thing that I tear for my strips and all that is a lot bigger than that. And I can't find it, so I'm not going to show it to you. So now, for those of you who don't know what inking is, I want to show you, I left a few uninked, which is how you can hear, some people call it distressing, inking. I think that's the only 2 things I know. Somebody actually thought I burnt the pages because if you use a dark enough ink, and sometimes I use black because I like the black edges too. It just depends on what I'm doing. So, but anyway, I thought I'd show some of you that. So I've got some of this prepped out. Now this is my little thing of word phrases that I cut out today. Oops-a-daisy, take a chance, never mind, back to you, even more important, lots of different phrases. So it was kind of fun. I actually read a book or 2 while I was doing it. So today, I've already prepped this. This is out of a vintage book. It was a children's book. And on this one, I just cut it out with the pinking shears, and I've already inked the edges on this one. I've got several layers I'm going to do. I like this little green fleur-de-lis print. I've got a wild fly in here that I'm going to put on top of that. So we are going to glue now. As soon as I get my glue, I'll just use my glue stick, my Yoo-hoo. I also like to use art glitter glue. It dries pretty fast and isn't as sticky or gummy as the Yoo-hoo. They both work well. So you just glue. Of course, first you cut out your pieces and you pick out of course, for your book pages, it really doesn't matter. Hopefully you won't have books that have ugly words that you don't want to be seen in someone else's journal, in your journal, or on TV or Facebook or wherever you are. So just be careful. I don't have books that say things like that, so I don't have to worry about it, but to each his own. So if you've got some racy books or books that may have words you might not want to show on the air, that if you're running for public office in a few years, that'll come back and bite you, you might want to be careful about that. This picture, again, is out of a children's book, and I love the little girl. She's at the library, and she's picking out a book. So I inked her up. I don't remember the name of the book, but it doesn't really matter because I don't care about the name of the book. And you can't buy another one because it's old and they don't sell it anymore. But it was a vintage book. So there's that. Looks kind of cute. It's almost like a journaling tag itself. And on the back, I love that little bicycle. You've got room to write. And I'm going to ink the back. And the word phrase that I want to put on this, thought this was so cool, is you've heard of people saying they're starting a new chapter in their life. So that's kind of symbolic, if you will, of this picture. So I'm going to stick new chapter right there. Isn't that cute? Very simple. And it looks like it only took me a minute or two, but really it took me a lot longer because I have to pick things out. But some people are very decisive and can do that pretty quickly. But that's how you do it if you want something a little bigger. Again, you don't have to use pictures. So here's a I'm stuttering. This is a plain one. I've already, again, inked the edges, and I'm using the Ground Espresso Distress ink by Tim Holtz in Ground Espresso. This one is like a 4-pack, but the Ground Espresso is my favorite. So that's what I've used here. I've already inked this plain vintage little piece of paper, and it's crumbly. So you also have to be careful with vintage books because the pages can, if they're really old, they can be really crumbly. So I'm gluing it up good with my Yoo-hoo. Woohoo. Oh, stick it to me. And I want to rub that down good. You can get a bone folder. You hear that? One fell on the floor. If you saw all around me, you would tell me to run because going under the table. I've got mountains and mountains of things all around me. And it can be scary sometimes. Not to me, of course, but to other people who might come in. Eek. And the word I wanted to put on here is just occasionally silly, which I am. Fits me well. But I thought that would be cute in a journal page. And you can also see when I do stuff that it's not perfect. I have junk stuck to my fingers that I don't want stuck to my fingers. I drop things on the floor and have to dive under and go get them. But always remember, I'll be right back. Except if I don't come back, like within just a few seconds, you might want to call for help. Call my husband, those of you who know my husband. But I guess this isn't live, so hopefully he'll find me before the next time I need to do a video. So that one's plain, but it's cute. It's like occasional silly. Occasional silly. Oh well, I thought it said occasionally when I was first looking at it. So the next one I'm going to do, I'm getting them mixed up, is this one. And I'm going to show you how I ink the edges. You can use a lot of different things to ink. You can use these little brushes, which are pretty cool. They work really well, and you just clean them like you would anything else. If you want a lighter touch, they do really well. I'm kind of heavy-handed with my ink. But this is one way you can do it. And you can truly probably just get the edges when you use these little brushes. And I'll show you a couple other things you can use as well. Or you can lay it flat and kind of do it like that. And you can get, which I like, a little darker on the edge. No, you're not hearing an echo. It's me repeating myself. Happy 4th, my neighbors are saying. They're shooting off. I can't believe they've still got any fireworks left because 4th of July, we just stayed at home. We didn't go downtown Nashville or Gallatin or anything to watch the fireworks because our neighbor across the street, they have children. They're a little older, and they had a party. We just had a swimming pool put in. We didn't get invited. I guess because we're old people. But they are out in the street doing fireworks, and it was amazing. I mean, they had to have spent, and probably all of them chipped in, but I would say $1,000 easy because they shot fireworks, I know, for 2 or 3 hours, and now they're still doing some tonight. So they had some left over. If you start hearing noises, it's because my husband just got out of the shower, and he'll come in here and forget that I'm doing a video. So just overlook that noise. And my dogs, my golden doodles, you'll probably hear them fighting. I can hear them now. So, you know, we just have all kinds of noises around here. I'm doing a video, dear.
You are?
Yes, I am. See, I told you he would forget. It's not. He said he heard gunfire, but, you know, that's what fireworks sound like. So, anyway, that's how you do it with a little brush. And, of course, I ended up making it heavier. If you lay it down, you can get it a little heavier. So, I got that piece. And then I've already pre-inked this one. It was cardstock you saw in another one that I did. And I wish I could find my other thing of glue. I'd been sitting in the living room and moved things. And that's always dangerous because then when I move them back, things kind of get lost in the shuffle. I'll put yoo-hoo up, and I'm going to get the big glitter bottle, and I'll find I have a little tiny one I pour it in that's the got the fine line so that I don't squirt out a whole pile of stuff. And this one is obviously clogged up because it's the one I pour from. Sorry, I can't even do a tutorial without making a mess. Okay, let's see if we can get it out now. It's not wanting to cooperate really well, is it? Okay, it's good enough for now. Another thing you could do if you like to stitch on your sewing machine, you could just put a tiny bit in the center and stitch it, which would be really cute. And I may do a couple like that, just so you can see. Now, I've got glue everywhere on my hands, and I do have baby wipes, but since I moved stuff from the living room back into here, it's hard to find things. However, baby wipes are awesome, and I keep them by my side because they work well to get the junk off your hands, and by the way, will take paint off of things. If you do mixed media or painting, I use the heck out of baby wipes to get paint off because I always have to redo or do things over. Excuse me. So we have that glued down, and now I'm going to glue Good Times, which is pretty neat, and the green matches the green in the cardstock, and it's kind of multicolor, so you know they don't have to look perfect because it'll look better once you add it to your journal or a tag or whatever you're doing. So there it is, Good Times. I like that. That is super cute, I think. So there's that. So another example I'm going to do, and I've got 2 more examples to show you. I'm not going to do all of them I had laid out so that we'll be done. It's a smaller one. Here's my book page already inked. This time I'm going to layer it with this little piece of burlap ribbon. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac. I should buy stock in this. It's my favorite. The Fabri-Tac and the Art Glitter Glue are like my very favorites. I like Yoo-Hoo sticks for small, things, paper things. But for fabric and metals, ooh, it's coming undone. See what happens? All these people that can do perfect videos amaze me because I can't. And I've even prepped it and I'm still making a mess. Let's get this puppy down before all the little fibers come out. This burlap is cantankerous and it likes to fall apart. It's like a ribbon, but it's a wide mesh. So once you start cutting it, it doesn't like to stay put and play well. So beware, buyers beware. I have several different kinds. I kind of like this open weave one. And I'm doing this because I'm going to lay some lace on top. So my next layer It's just a little dab will do you, of lace. I'm just going to kind of stick that down like that. And I have a little daisy flower. Super cute. I got this on Wish for $1 for shipping. I think it was a yard or 2 yards. I don't remember. I'm going to stick that right there. And I like Fabri-Tac also. Sometimes I use it just for paper stuff because it dries super fast. But you don't need much. Like I said, a little dab will do you. I don't know if y'all remember, some of you won't. The older people that are like my age and older will remember the Brill Cream commercials. A little dab will do you. I'll tell you a fun story about that. Isn't that cute? Oops. Super cute. Charming, you might say. Ha. That's what my prompt says. So there's that one. It's still sticking to me. It doesn't want to go away. And the other thing about Fabri-Tac is you can roll off the parts that dry. It dries pretty quick. And you can just roll it off. So the other one I wanted to show you, I thought was really cute. I'm going to show you another inking technique. Instead of the brush, you can use a makeup sponge. You probably remember seeing these. You can get them at the Dollar Tree or at the Five Below store in little packs. And you can just ink that puppy up. I think this absorbs the ink quite a bit. So it's... I've used it quite a bit in the last few days until I went and got some refills on my Tim Holtz inker that I'm going to show you also. Because this, if you like to be light-handed with your ink and you don't like it real dark, these makeup sponges work great because they don't deposit a lot of ink, but they sure do hold a lot. So I always think that's wasting my ink because I want it on my paper, not in my sponge, because once it gets down in there, it's never to be seen again. And it crumbles. All these sponge things crumble, which drives me nuts. Looks like I've got little dirt flecks on my desk. So that's one way. The other thing you can use is a Tim Holtz inker. They sell these, at the craft stores, or you can get it online, and then these come off and you can redo them, or put refills on them. This, I just wobble it around and it seems to go a little further. And again, I like my edges kind of dark and to fade out. And you can get a fade effect, a shading effect with the makeup brushes. That's really cool. And I didn't buy the craft ones that look just like that are like $35 because I already knew they have makeup brushes like that. So I went online. I think I got mine for like $10 or $12 Amazon for that set of brushes. I don't remember who and where and the name, and I can't link it because I don't know how to do all that yet. So there's that. Then I have already inked this. Ooh, it's bubbling. You know what? That's what Fabri-Tac does if you don't put the lid on. So I'm gonna glue it. Not that. I'm gonna glue this down. We're almost done. I'll glue it better later. This one I may just sew anyway. I just want it glued down enough to kind of stay on there. And that's the art glitter glue that I've lost my little bottle between here and the living room that I'll find. So there's that, and I like the black, white, and red, or the brown. And I found in the vintage children's book this little red wagon. Isn't it cute? And I cut it out with the pinking shears. So I am going to glue this down. Hopefully. You are going to be in big trouble, glue bottle. I'm going to bring your little brother in here. He's going to take over for you, and you've just lost your job. Sorry, I hope you don't talk to inanimate objects. I do. And I know people say that it's okay as long as things don't answer you well, or you answer yourself. I do. I talk to myself and I answer myself. So I'm gluing the wagon down, and I want it more to one side because I've got the word good times, and it's in the turquoise, which is like my favorite color. And I'm going to put it offset up here. I know y'all. I know what you're saying. I can hear you, as Nick the Booksmith says. I hear you. I hear you screaming at me. Why don't you just use the glue? Yoo-hoo glue. Okay, I heard you. I'm using it. Bam. Bam. And good times, right? Isn't that cute? And you could go further with it and put, a little button or whatever, but that's simple and cute. Love it. So that is how you do clusters. It's just a short and sweet video. And I hope you're inspired to go out and create. You don't need a lot of stuff. You can use things around your house. And you can sit and do that while watching TV. That's what I did. But today, just now, I came in here to do this for you guys. So I'll be back soon with another video.